Since ancient times, kings have used golden scepters to display power. But in the book of Revelation, something very different is mentioned, a rod of iron. What does this mysterious and powerful symbol mean? Welcome to Bible Curiosities, a space where we uncover the secrets and hidden meanings within the Word of God. In the book of Revelation, chapter 19, verse 15, it says that from the mouth of Christ comes a sharp sword to strike the nations. And that he will rule them with a rod of iron. This expression also appears in Psalm 2, verse 9, and in Revelation 2, 27, always related to the rule of Christ. But what does this rod represent? In Hebrew culture, the rod was a symbol of authority and discipline. Shepherds used a rod to guide and correct their sheep. And kings carried one as a sign of rulership. However, the rod of iron is not an ordinary wooden staff. Iron represents strength, justice, and unshakable authority. Christ will not rule with weakness or favoritism, but with perfect justice, one that does not bend to sin or rebellion. While nations change their laws, his word remains eternal, like iron that cannot be broken. But there is something even deeper. This rod is not only a symbol of power, it is also a symbol of protection. Just as a shepherd uses his rod to drive away the enemy and protect his sheep, Christ uses his authority to defend his own. In other words, the rod of iron is not merely an instrument of correction, but a promise of eternal safety for those who live under his reign. That's why Revelation 12, verse 5, says that the child born of the woman will rule the nations with a rod of iron. That woman represents the people of God. And the child is Christ, the Messiah who will reign with justice over all the earth. When everything seems out of control, the Bible reminds us that Jesus holds the scepter in his hands. He does not rule with fear, but with love. A love that does not compromise with evil. A love that corrects, purifies, and saves. This rod of iron is also an invitation to us. To submit to his authority. To trust his justice even when we don't understand his ways. And to remember that in the midst of chaos, Christ is still reigning. He has not lost control. And when he returns, his rule will bring peace, truth, and restoration to all things. Are you ready to live under the rule of the King who cannot be corrupted? The one who governs with true justice and perfect love? If this message spoke to your heart, I invite you to share it, click like, and subscribe to the channel Bible